Hi, I'm Joel and I am your tutor online. Today is the second in a series of the tutor question and answer. Today, username MrAbicss asks on YouTube through a comment on one of my videos, how do you simplify fractions? It was on the video about adding fractions, and actually that video didn't require any simplification, but it's a good question. So let's get set up here. Okay. Simplifying fractions means we're going to write the fraction with the smallest numbers possible on both the top and the bottom of the fraction. Let's start backwards so you can see what we're trying to get at when we're simplifying fractions. We're going to work backwards. Let's look at 2/3. That is a fraction that is simplified. It cannot get any more simplified. I want to make it unsimplified. And a way to do that is I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by the same number, 2 and 2. Now 2 over 2 is the same thing as 1, and you should know from other parts of your math class that multiplying anything by 1 is itself. So when we multiply a fraction by the same number on top and the same number on the bottom, it doesn't actually change anything. It just looks different. It's kind of like, think of it as like rotating your paper in a 360-degree circle. You just end up with the same thing at the end. 2/3 times 2 over 2 is the same thing as 2/3 times 1. The way it looks different is I'll multiply across the top and get 4 over 6. Now this 4 over 6 is a not simplified fraction. The goal of simplifying is to go from this not simplified fraction to this simplified fraction. And the trick there is trying to figure out what was multiplied to your simple fraction to get your unsimplified fraction. And then you're just going to undo the process. Okay? So, to simplify 4/6, we would just divide the top by 2 and divide the bottom by 2 to get to 2/3. Whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom. Let's look at a little bit of a more complicated example. Start with 24 over 66. Now you're going to ask this one question over and over again until the answer is no. The question you ask, is there anything that goes into the top number that also goes into the bottom number? It's going to be very helpful here if you know all your division rules. For example, even numbers are always divisible by 2, or if you add up the digits and divide by 3, then the whole number is divided by 3. But that might be another video. So I see 24 and I see 66, and I see that they're both even, so I know that 2 goes into both of them. So what I can do is divide the top and divide the bottom by 2 to get a little bit more simple of an answer. 24 divided by 2 is 12, 66 divided by 2 is 33. And that's okay, so long as whatever I divide the top by, I do the same thing to the bottom. I'm going to ask my question again. Remember, I ask until the answer is no. Is there anything that goes into 12 that also goes into 33? Well, I know that 3 goes into 12, but does 3 go into 33? Remember that rule for 3's, add up the two digits, 3 plus 3 is 6. Does 3 go into 6? Yes. So 3 goes into the whole big number. I'll divide the top and the bottom both by 3. And really, this is the hardest part of simplifying, is figuring out what numbers to divide by. You really have to know your division rules. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 33 divided by 3 is 11. I'm going to ask that question one more time. Is there anything that goes into 4 that also goes into 11? Well, I know 2 goes into 4, but 2 will not go into 11. In fact, 11 is the prime number. So 4/11 is the completely simplified fraction of 24 over 66. And that is a very brief introduction to how to simplify fractions. Now, I made this video because somebody asked a question. If you have a math question, ask me. One of the very simple ways to do it is click this link that just popped up to send me an email through YouTube. You can also send a good old-fashioned email to info@yourtutoronline.com. And if you found this kind of video helpful, if you'd like to see more question and answer videos, let me know. Leave a comment on the end of this video. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and until we meet again, happy studying.